Friday night, there's been some rolled eyes and some skepticism. Some have even suggested that the Browns are setting Sanders up to fail, and that if he falls on his face, the fan and the media pressure to start him will suddenly just go away. I hear all this, and I shrug, because I couldn't feel more different about Shedeur Sanders' opportunity. Why? Because I've seen it. See, in 2012, Russell Wilson was a third-round pick. He was supposed to be behind Matt Flynn and the late Travaris Jackson. Then, Russ went out and he cooked in training camp. And then in the preseason, he threw for 536 yards and 5 touchdowns in 4 games. And he won the job outright. A third-round pick. Flynn was the backup, and Travaris Jackson was eventually traded away to Buffalo. When Tony Romo went down in 2016, the Cowboys had many other options, but they went with their 4th-round pick, a kid named Dak Prescott. Dak was undeniable that preseason. He's been the starter in Dallas ever since. See, Shedeur has the opportunity to not only silence critics on Friday night, but what if, hear me out, what if Shedeur is really good? And not just on Friday night, but in the team's 2nd and 3rd preseason games too. I'm not saying Shedeur is gonna do what many saw as more or less impossible a few weeks back and win that job for week 1 outright. But as we sit here today, I'm also not saying he can't. Shedeur Sanders, go do your thing. Go win that job. Guys, come on over here, because I feel like Shedeur is being treated almost like a charity case right now. We're saying he's got no reps and he's with the ones, but he hasn't been with the ones. What do you think he can actually do tomorrow night against Carolina? And does it matter?
It absolutely, if you're playing football, it absolutely matters. You know what he can do? He can plant that seed in Kevin Stefanski's head. This job is not too big for me. I know I'm a 5th-round, 4th-string quarterback, but I can go out here in quote-unquote adverse situations, playing with guys that I don't normally play with in practice, and go out here and execute in a live game situation. You don't think that would plant a seed in Kevin Stefanski's head, knowing that, okay, I got a 5th-round guy where the moment wasn't too big for him. Maybe let's add more onto his plate and let's see what this young man can do with more things added to him.
Harry Douglas, is there an opportunity where he is just undeniable and just wins over the entire team and wins this job by a good preseason performance?
Well, you're not going to win this job in preseason game number 1, but what you can do is enlighten people to say, hey, maybe we need to take a deeper look into this and Shedeur Sanders and give him more reps in practice to be able to take the information that you learn in those meeting rooms to the practice field. But now on Friday Night Lights, when the lights are the brightest, to go out here and perform at a high level. And don't be surprised for Carolina if you see their first team out there defensively. Yeah. This is a team who was just about last in every category defensively. So Dave Canales is probably going to play his game, his guys. But if you're Shedeur Sanders, you say to yourself, man, let me make the best of this opportunity. Let me operate from the pocket. Let me have control at the line of scrimmage. Let me be accurate throwing the football. And if you get in a 2-minute situation, let me go down and get points, whether it's a touchdown or a field goal. All these things will turn heads, not just for the coaching staff, but players on your own team. And when you have the backing by players on your own team, that's stronger, in my opinion.
Jeremy, I've referenced Dak and Russ. One of the things they did is they had the guys galvanized around them, and they were the leaders, even though they were rookies. You've been around this team. Does Shedeur have that?
Yes, that's what he's got going for him. His teammates really do seem to be sold on him, and a lot of the veterans too. Jerry Jeudy, David Njoku, they're talking highly of him. He's working. And I was there at practice. He threw the ball for about a half hour after the session. He was the last guy in the field by a long time. So, but the thing is, coming out of that Carolina practice yesterday, he's got some deficiencies. He's considered to have a longer windup. He's got some lack of urgency in the pocket. So he needs to play to his strengths tomorrow. He's accurate. He has shown to be accurate in training camp. He needs to work that.
As I'm hyping it up, in case you guys missed it, Louis Riddick was a realist yesterday on the show, and he had this to say about how much he has to gain, but also he's got so much to lose tomorrow as well.
This is the kind of scenario that you don't want. You're going out there with the first team, but you haven't really repped with them. You haven't really gone through all the different calls that the quarterbacks that have been getting the majority of the 1s and 2s have gotten. So for him, hey, look, he may not be able to lock down the starting job with this performance, but he can definitely lose it. That's just the life of being a late-round draft pick. They expect you to be perfect, although you weren't necessarily set up for perfection.
All right, for the viewers at home, Damian Woody, he's had no reps with the first team. He wasn't expecting this. Everyone got injured. They're thrusting him in there, and now you got a number 1 defense coming at you. Can he do
No
that?
one cares. No one cares.
Thank you.
No one cares. This happens in regular season game. Quarterback goes down, the backup is expected to go in there and operate, go in there and do his thing. So throw the excuses out, okay? And we also got to throw out the pre-draft process. Okay? He's a 5th-round quarterback, 4th on the depth chart, but has been presented a huge opportunity. Again, I'm going to say it. He's been presented a huge opportunity to plant a seed in Kevin Stefanski's head. Because I think most people, whether it's in the organization or outside, presume that Joe Flacco is going to be the starter week 1. But you can plant that seed and you can tell the coach, hey, I can handle this gig. I can handle this job. If you're looking for a quarterback for not only this year, but years beyond, how about looking at me first?
Sometimes in life, everything is not going to be perfect. But how can you come back from things being imperfect to make it into a positive? Sometimes, Shedeur, you got to take those lemons that you have and turn it into lemonade. So go out there and have a good showing tomorrow night.
And we know he's got a chip on his shoulder, whether or not he has, he's going to want to be motivated to do this, right?
Yes, and the reason why he'll be ready, the way the Browns structure their training camp, they got those guys a lot of throws. So even if he's 3rd, 4th string, he's thrown hundreds of rep balls in practice, which you don't usually see.
We're hyping a Friday night preseason game as if it's the Super Bowl.
Might be one of the most watched ones.
I want to see it.
Shedeur
Browns announced 2 days ago that Shedeur Sanders is slated to start tomorrow night in Carolina. Jeremy Fowler, you spent some time in Cleveland this summer. Empty the notebook. What do you got on Shedeur?
Well, the Browns like how he's accurate. He makes tight window throws. He does a lot of good things. They did have a joint practice yesterday with the Carolina Panthers. The feeling is over there that, hey, it's the Browns quarterback outlook. Maybe not so great. Shedeur does have some work to do in the pocket. Urgency, getting rid of the ball. He's got a bit of a long windup as a thrower. So he's got a ways to go as far as a prospect. They like what he's doing, but they got some time. Really, Joe Flacco, from people I talked to, feel like he's easily got the lead right now in that race.
Okay, that's fair. However, tomorrow night, it's going to be Shedeur. Harry, I start with you. What specifically must he do to make an impact and make a statement tomorrow night?
I'll say number one, when you're dealing with a rookie quarterback, you want that guy to be able to take the information that you learn in the meeting rooms, retain it, put it to the practice field, but now it's Friday Night Lights, baby. That game is tomorrow. You're going back to your high school days. Can you perform at your best when the lights are on? We know a lot of people can do it in practice. You can do it when you're in shorts and a t-shirt. But can you take that information and go out there and control the line of scrimmage, have command over the huddle, take care of the football, and then here's the big catcher. It's not like the Carolina Panthers defense were just miraculous last season. Those guys were last in just about every single category. So they're going to be playing some of their starters on defense. So if you're Shedeur, if you can take advantage of this opportunity and open more eyes to your quarterback play, then it's setting you up for I'll say a good first season.
All right, Damian Woody, I look at this situation. He was the 4th quarterback on the depth chart. We've got injuries from everybody else, so now he's inserted to start. What can he do in a meaningful preseason performance?
He has an opportunity to plant a seed in Kevin Stefanski's head. How often do you see a 5th-round quarterback who's 4th on the depth chart get to start the first preseason game, not only started, but play most of the game? That's a rare opportunity. Those opportunities usually only go around for your 1st-round quarterbacks. But Shedeur Sanders is getting that opportunity right now with the Cleveland Browns. And I would tell Shedeur, I'm just looking at the camera, take advantage of this opportunity. You have a unique opportunity to go out here and do all the things that Harry talked about, as far as the operation and all those type of things. But you have an opportunity to plant a seed in Kevin Stefanski's head to say, this is not too big for a rookie quarterback. And if you do that, you'll give yourself more opportunities moving forward in the preseason.
Yesterday we had our lead draft analyst, Louis Riddick, here, also, of course, calls Monday Night Football and does college. He had an interesting take. Let's toss to Louis Riddick on the fact that Shedeur is going to be starting in the preseason debut.
This is the kind of scenario that you don't want. You're going out there with the first team, but you haven't really repped with them. You haven't really gone through all the different calls that the quarterbacks that have been getting the majority of the 1s and 2s have gotten. So for him, hey, look, he may not be able to lock down the starting job with this performance,